Welcome to the Simply Be Found Huddle. You got Dean and Rob, both the co-founders and marketing coaches that are part of simplybefound.com. And we talk about everything business and marketing related. So, Dean, a question came across this morning. I want to start and open with it. We talk about the best way to create tons of content inside of your marketing is to start with video and then work it down from there to be able to create your social media and create everything. But he goes, I can't get myself around video. How would you use ChatGPT? And how would you, he said he has a paid subscription, and how would you use it to be able to solve the same problem? So I have an idea around this. So I mean, I'm opening, and I'm gonna go straight into that idea.
So if you have any writing skills at all, you can start by giving it ideas of what you want to talk about. Is that what is it? Nope. What do you?
You could. Okay.
All right.
I have a better solution for that.
But that's how this old brain works. So I'm gonna hear your approach because it's different. So let's hear what you've got to say about it.
Okay, so we're gonna give a little bit of background. This guy is a contractor. He's a roofer, and he goes and he does estimates. He does roofing repair. He also does some landscaping. He also does siding and all that different stuff. So he does a variety of different things, which I think is a really good rounded piece. I suggest not everybody put all their eggs in one basket, because if you don't have any hell, you don't have that. But that's a whole other topic. But what I was thinking about is like, okay, so if I was to structure it without video, and I wanted to be able to solve the same problem. So you have the whole AEO piece, which is answer engine optimization, which means you state the problem, ask the question, and go through the whole project, right? To be able to generate your blog, to be able to generate then your social media from it.
Okay.
So I was thinking about ChatGPT. If you have a paid subscription with ChatGPT, you load up ChatGPT on your phone. So you load it up. It's available on Android and also inside of Apple, I believe. I have an Apple iPhone. When I start a new chat, on that bottom right-hand side, down by where the search button, where the typing is, in that bottom right-hand corner, there's a microphone, and then next to that, there's an actual black dot with some lines in it. So if I hit that and I do this, watch what could happen from it. I just went into a client's property. They had hail damage from the storm that happened on 3/20 of 24, and I found that there was lots of hail damage to this. They also had siding damage. They had all these different things. Can you help me write a blog talking about this and put it into the location of Windsor, Colorado? I'm not going to
Sure.
Oops.
Is it thinking?
To start, we can open with a description of the storm on March 20th, 2024, and its impact on Windsor, Colorado. Then, highlight the specific damage to the client's property, emphasizing the extent of the hail and siding damage. We can also discuss the importance of timely repairs and preventive measures for homeowners in similar situations. Does that sound good?
That sounds great. Can you make the blog around 2,000 words?
Certainly. I'll structure a 2,000-word blog that highlights the storm's impact, details the damage to the client's property, and offers advice on handling such damage.
So I can go through a ChatGPT, have a conversation. So if I walk through the whole property and said, I see this, 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 I could probably write a property report at the same time. And then I could take that property report and turn it into a blog, and then turn that using ChatGPT into social media. And it's still in my words because I'm the one saying it.
Right.
And I'm coming through and saying, okay, we're going to write a blog. We're going to talk about this, 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 and this. And I could complex that out. So I could use ChatGPT by voice. Most of our members don't want to sit and type everything out, and they don't have time for that. But they have time when they get back to their truck, when they're in their office. They have time to be able to go through and have a conversation and talk about something that's on their mind. And that would solve AEO because you're answering questions to something that actually happened.
Okay. I think you're just doing it with a voice process. but it's yours. It's not taking other stuff and regurgitating it and bringing it back in, which I think is one of the drawbacks of some of the AI stuff out there. Content is that it has a tendency to pull things and not make it original content for your business. Am I saying that the way you're interpreting it? Okay.
Yep, because now you're not worrying about, you have less editing that happens inside of that because it's your words that it's using. It's having a conversation. It'll go back and forth. It'll read me the entire thing that it's going to write. And I could do that technically, and I wouldn't advise it because there's probably some legal thing inside of YouTube and all these different platforms. But you can probably do it while driving down the road.
Yeah.
And I have. Using my Bluetooth, I hold conversations with ChatGPT like I'm talking to someone in the car and come up with all kinds of different things. It's how I write some of my reports, go through, have it do research, and expand on that. But so the question came from that member of how do I do it without video? Well, that's how you do it without video. You can use it by your voice. Now you can type it all out. And that's where you originally go. You're going, well, I want you to come up with this and come up with all that information. But for the average business owner and average member that we see inside of the platform, they don't have that's going to be too much. It's going to feel like too much work. So it dawned on me, I do this all the time. I never thought about talking about it with members.
But I just went down another thing because I hate typing up quotes for people. But and that actually you can generate your quote, like you said. I never thought of it that way. With my other business, I say, this is going to be a two-sided print on a T-shirt with one color on the front and 5 colors on the back. And if I've taught, and the other thing too is, can you teach your GPT your chat to use your numbers?
I don't know if that function. I don't know if that function works inside of the GPT side for the custom GPT, which we do. We write custom GPTs for people all the time. It's not included in any of our plans. We do it as an extra charge, but we can actually help you train your GPT to where it knows all about your business and all the information.
But that's kind of where I went with it. But I
don't know. I don't know if that search function's in there. Let me look.
But so the other thing too is my phone is actually tied to my desktop. Is yours linked into your desktop?
Yeah, so after you type this, you can go to your computer if you log into ChatGPT, and it's right there.
Oh, you mean after you say it?
After you say it.
Yeah, okay, not type it, yeah. And then you can take it to your computer and use it from there. So, yes. I mean, so what a great...
That functions inside of custom GPTs too.
I thought it was. I couldn't remember on my phone. But what a great tool for businesses to get content and to do some of your work for you. It's like having an assistant with you to help you, and you're doing it. I mean, what a fantastic way to get content. I never thought of that until today when you just threw that at me.
So you could take that to the next level. You could be where English is your second language, and I would want somebody. I'm going to contact a couple of people and have them try it. But you could take it in Spanish or whatever your native tongue is. And you could say it inside of that, and I think she would understand it. And then she would convert. Then she could translate it over to being in English.
Right.
I don't know how good it would be.
I don't know. We'll have to get some of our, because we have some clients that are English as their second language. We need to talk to them about that. I mean, because we have some people that we had. Where was that one? I can't remember where they were from. They were from like Kenya or something like that, and they speak English, but they have their own tongue. I wonder. I don't know. I know this language.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's one of those things to where I'd be neat to see what that could do. But this would be a way to be able to save time.
Right.
So everybody gets all hung up on how much time social media is going to take. Everybody gets all hung up on how long a blog would take or any of those things. You could have a conversation and then you could tell it after it writes out a summary, okay, write a blog about this. Perfect. Now go ahead and write a Facebook post. Go ahead and write this kind of post. It'll do it for you. Because now you can link that together. And this is why when we talk that this could be, take less than an hour to be able to do. This is stuff you naturally can do. Because if you just finish doing that quote, especially for contractors, this is huge.
Well, not just I see it for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of industries, not just that, because we have people that do financial advising or whatever. They can actually, I mean, without giving out personal
You
information.
can't give out personal information because of I can't remember what law that is, but
yeah,
Privacy Act, I
in the
think.
medical world, it's the HIPAA laws. You know, I don't know,
Right.
but it's client confidentiality, like a lawyer, I think, is what it is, kind of thing. But I'm not sure. But
It's been too long since I did security in the IT
Yeah.
world at a bank.
but no, but I am going to have to give this a try to see how it works for my business, because there'll be times instead of taking notes, I could actually, when I'm talking to somebody, I could actually record that on my, because we get phone calls too, and you can do the same thing with that. And oh my goodness, I'm going.
You know what I
kinds of
picture,
places
Dean?
with this.
I picture you sitting out in your lawn chair, out on your property, by your chickens, next to the damn tractor, and I see you having a conversation underneath your tree with ChatGPT to come up with it, and then spending your morning a little bit going through on the computer, copying and pasting, maybe doing a couple edits to it, and then getting it out there.
Right. Because it's really not, you create your own content and just like, well, we're having a conversation right now. We're creating content, and it's unique to you and I, and idea development. And it's no different than a business, because you create your own content that way, and it answers, and then, like you said, it answers the questions about your business.
Well, and having a Bluetooth inside of your ear, it'd make it so much easier. I mean, I do it while I'm out gardening, and I don't even think about it.
Right.
I mean, obviously, I can't be mowing the grass and also having a conversation because I wouldn't be able to hear it.
Well,
But
your neighbors know you're a little bit strange, but when they see you talking to yourself, they don't know what you're doing over there. You know. So,
I mean, I had that's fair enough. I mean, I had a full conversation with myself the other day, and Megan thought you were here. Actually, it was the girls that thought you were here, as I was having a full conversation with the whiteboard, but it was all with myself. And actually, it wasn't 100% by myself, because ChatGPT was in my ear, so they just thought I was talking to you.
Right. No, yeah, but
because I was looking for stats and wanting to know, what do you see? What do you see for this? What, run this idea? What do you see? And I was just going through data sets, and I loaded my data sets and I played with it to go back and forth. So this is something I've been doing, but until we were having the podcast right before this, and I said, we got to do another podcast right afterwards, because it's one of those things to where this is a very big piece. And then I had somebody at the same exact time when we ended that conversation and hop up inside of chat and go, I don't want to do video. How can I do this? And we were just talking about, because I did the search for a local business that same way and looking for a local business. But I was like, well, if you do that for, I mean, I do it for blogs.
Right. And the only thing, I'll just put out a little warning, if you will. If you tell it to write for social media, sometimes it doesn't get the word counts right. So just FYI, everybody, if you're doing it that way, make sure your character counts are right, because sometimes it goes over a little bit. That's just a sidebar on that. But how many people get hung up on, what do I talk about? What do I do? What do I say on social media? But gosh.
But this ties into the AEO piece. It ties into the SEO piece. It ties into the social media piece. It ties into the voice search piece. It ties into every single piece of your marketing. So let's talk about that tree again. This is just one way to be able to add more to your trunk and add more to your branches, and causing that data and that root to be able to go through and make the bigger tree inside of the forest. If you haven't heard us talk about it, look at our past podcasts. We talk about that and break down the whole tree concept. It's something that we're growing on and what we're kind of just putting together. But this solves that problem and solves it in a way that makes unique content. It's not relying on anybody else's for data points. It might bring some stuff in for some other resources, but it's in your words. And it's able to go through, make it clear to what it is. It reads it back to you, and it allows you to be able to do your own marketing, and it answers questions, because there's so many things that you do as a business owner that you're not talking about on your website because you didn't think about it when you wrote it, but you do it every single day. Right. Every business has those aspects. Like, I've been doing this, but I haven't thought about it in this way until it was in that series of questions, and then it brings that idea up.
Well, we just came up with a whole new coaching concept for our members. when they say I'm struggling, here, do this, try this.
Correct.
But it's a paid subscription though for that, correct? Or not?
I don't know if it's available on the free one or not. I'm going to assume it's not as good as the paid version, but you'd have to have ChatGPT, which ChatGPT is what, $20 a month?
Something like that, yeah. And it's
so I mean, if you have the social media suite with us, which is $99, which comes with the listings engine, and I think, I mean, all in all, you'd be spending like 120, 125, something like that.
Yeah, what a great, that's nothing in the scheme of things when you figure what you have to pay to hire somebody to do that for you.
And marketing company now, and then if you're using a marketing company, so if you're using a marketing agency, you have a website developer, you have any of those people, you can actually utilize those teams by, doing a whole transcript and then send it to them and say, okay, put this on my website.
Right. Is it in the form of a blog or on a page even, correct?
Yep, you can write your page content that way. You can write your blog content that way. You can write your social media. So if you have somebody inside the office that posts your social media, now you have something to give them so they know what to talk about. Because as a business owner, you know your business better than anybody else does. So if you're a marketing agency, have your business owners start to use this concept. Have them watch our video if you want. But it's one of those things to where this is a great way to be able to get information and get it from the words of the business owner without it taking a ton of time, because they can do it while doing other things. They can do it using their voice, because it becomes a real pain in the butt. So it causes a lot of anxiety for business owners when you tell them, okay, I want you to sit down and write about your business. It's deer in headlights. And for a lot of them. Now, there's others that'll write you a whole book, and it's so formal, and it's like the content that you used to write, and I look at it and go,
I feel, but the thing, I just love that whole concept, Rob, because it's natural language about your business from you.
It's natural language. It comes from you. It's real things that have happened. It's and what I love about that type of piece, and what I love about AEO, especially in the contracting world, is you can talk about areas. Because like a lot of roofers, a lot of those things, since this was a roofer that did it, a lot of times what happens is they want to be able to target certain neighborhoods. They want to talk about something that just happened. They can actually go through and talk about a real scenario of what they just saw. Like you said, you could write a whole report about it. You could build this into your quote. You could do a lot of things with it, but then turn it into your marketing. Because then you can just send it over to your marketing group and go, here, write post this and finalize it.
Right, because that's one of the conversations we've had recently is the regurgitation of information from AI. When you just go out and just do say, find me information about roof inspection. It depends on where you're at. So, but this is you. I like this because now you're not dependent on misinformation. You got to watch AI, because if you go do a search, you may get misinformation. So you always got to check it and make sure that even what you're doing for yourself is accurate as well. But at least it takes away that writer's block. And
it takes it away totally.
Oh my.
You don't have to type. You don't have to worry about doing it. I mean, I've sat down with different members that were in person and different people that I've done websites for and everything in the past. I mean, there's one guy in particular that still had an old school monitor, an old school computer. And when he sat down to type and he goes, well, let's go ahead and see what we can search today. And he starts typing. He's going pecking all the way across. But someone like that could take this and use their words because they can talk about their business. Yeah. And when you write your descriptions inside of the listings engine, you can talk about it and then take that and then put it inside of there. It's going to give you a lot more. It's easier to say the words about your business like you're talking to somebody versus writing it, because I think that's the biggest disconnect between business owners, marketing, and especially this new world that's out there. And I think AI, this is a great use of AI.
Yeah, no, this is like we've talked about, AI is a tool. It's another tool that makes your life easier if you use it proper. I mean, like I said, I just never had gone down where you just went today, and I really appreciate that, because now my head's going everywhere. Boo! And what am I?
Well, and it gets you less screen time too, because you don't have to be in front of the computer from it, because you can just use your phone.
Well,
And
everybody
that's why I picture you sitting out on your lawn chair having conversations. Now you're going to start producing blogs, and then we go, "What the hell did I just do?"
No, yeah. And then everybody's going to go, what were you doing out there for your chickens? And what drink were you drinking, or whatever, or cocktails or whatever? I don't know. But no, that I really appreciate that insight, Rob, because I had never gone there before. And that's part of the what we talk about with the coaching. We always come up, somebody may present a solution, a problem to us, and a solution will come that we've never thought about before. That's why it's so good to have interactions with everybody and get comments on on these videos and this podcast.
Well, it's why the podcast is so unique. For one, we bring different guests in, we do it. I still cut videos that are also on top of it. You're supposed to be cutting videos. I haven't seen one from you in a while. No. But it's one of those things to where we bring those ideas from member asked questions. Because if one member has it, another member has it, and other people have it, and bringing that information and being able to break it down to where it's simple. Because this is where it goes from. So a thought like this came from a trigger point of multiple different pieces. And like, well, why don't we take that and use this? I love stuff like that. My brain absolutely eats it up.
Oh, I think you went to a great place on that one, Rob. So
I want to hear inside of the comments. I want to hear, how have you used this? What's your experience? Did it work for you? I want to know all about that. Did you use a custom GPT to do it? I'm sure Claude has a version for it now. I'm gonna have to go look and see if she does. Or it does. However, oh my gosh, I see you refer to these AIs as human, and I don't know if it creeps me out.
They're not quite to an autonomous level yet or sanctioned being.
Hey, we had a whole conversation about
that. Yeah, we did.
This week.
I'm looking forward to that one getting out there. But I just there's more than just ChatGPT. There's Gemini. I mean, some of them may work better than this. I don't
have Gemini on my phone. I've got Claude on my phone though, which is Claude.ai, which is a total different one.
Well, when I log into my Google app, I get Gemini in there sometimes, but I don't remember if I've got a Gemini app on mine or not. But I'd have to go look because I don't use it as much. But that's why the feedback is what worked for your business. It'd be great.
So Claude allowed me to send a message to Claude using your voice. I can choose a language to speak in, which is a bunch of them to choose from, and I can dictate up to 10 minutes, and then it will go through. So if I do it, just since we use ChatGPT, hey, can you write me a whole blog about roofing and damage inside of an area? So what it does differently is it does it as, and you can do this inside of ChatGPT as well, but it'll dictate everything that you said, and then you can give it a command and say, hey, can you write a blog about this? Or, hey, can you do that? That's the other option that you can do inside of this whole model too.
Yeah, no, but no, I'd love to hear the feedback of what works because some things may work for some industries better than other industries too.
Oh, 100%.
And that would be really a whole new set of data for us to analyze.
I love that.
You'll be all over that one, man.
but marketing changes. I mean, right. What works inside of, New York versus what works inside of, Kansas versus what works in California or Colorado or Texas, it changes between each because you have different people. You also have different problems. Like here in Colorado, we don't experience the huge moisture problems that they do in the high humidity areas.
Right.
We have different roofs here. We have the shingle roofs versus the tile. Some areas you have more tile roofs. I mean, so there's all kinds of different things that can change. Now for dentists, chiropractors, all that usually stays the same, but there might be some different problems throughout. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know enough about some of the we have people in those industries, but they don't really tell us that it's different in California than it does in Colorado, kind of thing.
Contracting is huge in different areas, especially just for what they experience and what time of seasons they're in. I mean, that's the biggest one we have that happens inside of those areas. But I mean, I think this is a great way. I want to see what people have to comment on. I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing what kind of some members do. Is there anything you want to close out with?
No, I think now I'm going to go play.
All right, you go play with your ChatGPT, and I want to know your opinion as well.
Sounds awesome, Rob.
Awesome. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. It depends on what network you're on. It really, truly helps. So if you are on YouTube, make sure you hit the bell icon so you get notified every time we put a new huddle out, which we post every day for the most part now that we have this up and going. So I look forward to it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks, everybody.